a staunch advocate for children affected by someone with a substance use disorder for more than 30 years. What inspired you to dedicate your life to this?
Well, it was an interesting situation. I was actually working on a program on child abuse and neglect and another one on juvenile delinquency prevention. And there were some really outstanding people who were running those programs. They had created what they thought were interventions and solutions that would work for the young people in both those systems. And I was listening to the volunteers give their reports one time, and all of a sudden it dawned on me, out of about 40 or 50 different individual projects that were going on in those two systems with young people in trouble, one-on-one, almost every one of them casually said, well, the father was drinking that night, or the mother was drunk when he got home, and I suddenly stopped them all and I said, do you hear yourselves? I don't know anything about alcoholism, but what I know is it's got to have something to do with what we're dealing with. Were you trained to do anything about that? Were you given any? No, not one of them had been trained by the psychologists and social workers who had designed these prevention programs and were getting funding for it. So we went back and huddled and said, we need to change our approach. And we decided that what we needed to do, and this was the junior league at that time, what we needed to do was to educate as many of the decision makers in this country, or in our counties actually, who could impact children's lives. Because it was clear that the systems were designing programs that did not help the kids for their primary problem, which was the chaos and confusion and fear of living in an addictive family system. So we didn't know anything about it, but we did go out and went to a number of conferences, a number of medical conferences, to the NCA conference, which was the biggest education conference in the country in those days every year. And we learned that we were right. And so we decided to start an education program to reach judges and teachers and clergy, people who made decisions that impacted programs and that also profoundly impacted young people, and just been doing it ever since.